Everyone has heard the expression, practice makes perfect. But in recent, it seems like this is far from true when dealing with relationships. The divorce rate in this country has grown significantly, and it isn't getting any better. As you can see on the chart here, the purple line represents marriage rates, or marriage per thousands of people. And the gray dotted line here represents divorce per thousand marriages. As you can tell, divorce rates are going up and marriages are going down. So more people are getting out of relationships and less people are getting into them. The purpose of this speech is discuss ways in which you can maintain a healthy relationship with your significant other. Everyone is involved in some sort of relationship, and the facts presented in this speech can hopefully help you improve almost any sort of relationship you have. I myself do not have much credibility with experience in dating a significant other, but the other research I have done in recent on this subject has tons of data backing it up and has been tested using sound methods. In this speech, I will discuss three main topics: humor, conflict, and persuasion. I will also discuss strategies and methods to use when managing a relationship. I'll start with humor. There's good humor and there's bad humor. One example of bad humor would be teasing. Negative teasing is bad, and negative teasing is described as pointing out a flaw in your significant other and then using them to make fun of them. This can hurt mate value discrepancy, which is essentially how you view your mate, whether it be by wealth or status in the community. And this also hurts relationship significance. On the other hand, humor, when used appropriately, can be good for coping and relationship satisfaction. In the study they did, they used humor orientation on couples, which is how well they used humor to cope. Couples with higher humor orientation had higher relationship satisfaction. But humor isn't the only way you can solve conflict. In fact, you can't solve conflict with humor at all. Professor Quinn Zhang did a study using anger and compassion to see how you could use those two to solve conflicts. What she found was that anger, when used in a conflict, hurt and did not help solve the conflict, while compassion or understanding did help. Resolvability was the term she used, and to explain resolvability, it's simply how a couple thinks they'll be able to solve a problem. So, example being a couple with low resolvability thinks that they are not going to be able to solve a problem on their own. A couple with high resolvability thinks that they will be able to. Resolvability was kind of the lens they used, and it also mediated the results. So a couple with low resolvability, they found it didn't really matter if they used a lot of compassion or anger. If they had low resolvability, there was a high chance they weren't going to resolve their problems. But sometimes you can avoid conflict altogether with the use of persuasion. One of the studies I looked at was a study that used dominance, explicitness, and reasoning to solve problems and help persuade your significant other. Dominance was defined as the amount of assertiveness you use when asking your significant other to do something. Explicitness was how much of your own reasoning you gave when telling someone else to do something for you. And reasoning was the reasons you gave them of why they should be doing something. They used politeness and resistance to judge how each of these went. Dominance went hand in hand with resistance. The more dominant you were, the more resistant your couple or your spouse seemed to be. While explicitness and reasoning kind of went hand in hand with politeness, reasoning more so. So the more reasons you gave for why they should be doing it, the more polite or cooperative they would be. Explicitness, they didn't find that it really related to the other four factors in this experiment, which I thought was also interesting. So showing your reasoning of why you think they should be doing something didn't really matter to your significant other. So, with a few simple methods under your belt, it can be a lot easier to maintain a healthy relationship with your significant other. Hopefully these methods can help solve some of your day-to-day conflicts in the relationship with others. We've discussed how certain kinds of humor can hurt or help strengthen a relationship. We've gone over ways to deal with conflict that will arise in your personal relationships, and we have learned effective ways of persuading your significant other to reduce tensions. Now, I'm aware that relationships are a lot more complicated than this and can be very messy. You can't just use a method or a theory to solve a problem. It's the unexpected things in relationships that make them so hard to maintain. But it's also these unexpected things that make it special, and in the end, they make it worthwhile. Thank you.